Start. Good morning all. Today the topic is spermatogenesis. So we all know the definition that it describes and includes all the processes which are involved in the production of male gametes, that is sperm. We can also define it as a series of complex transformation which a germ cell undergoes to become a mature spermatozoa. And which sperm you define as a mature one? The one who is capable of fertilizing an ovum. So this diagram shows you all the various stages which occurs in spermatogenesis. So the primordial germ cells, they migrate into gonads during embryogenesis, and these become the spermatogonias. When we see a seminiferous tubule in cross sections, we can see the various stages of these spermatogonia in development. At the basal site, you find the very primitive stage, and near the lumen, the more differentiated spermatogonias are present. The spermatogenesis, some facts about it. It begins at puberty but continues throughout the adult life of a male. But of course, the rate declines in the old age. The spermatogenesis does not occur in all parts of a seminiferous tubule simultaneously. It occurs in some part. Some part of seminiferous tubule is active while the others are in resting phase, and gradually it keeps on changing from one position to other. At one time, only parts of seminiferous tubules are active while others are inactive. It takes 72 days to form a mature sperm. It includes both the processes, that is mitosis and meiosis. And each spermatogonium, it develops into 512 spermatids. So coming to the phases of spermatogenesis, the phase 1 is mitotic division of spermatogonia. So the first phase includes mitosis. So simply the mitotic divisions occurs from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. So one spermatogonia with 2n chromosome number finally forms 32 spermatogonia still with 2n chromosome. Now it enters into the phase 2, that is the formation of primary spermatogonia. Again the mitosis occurs, and with one mitotic division, these 32 spermatogonias with 2n chromosome number form 64 primary spermatocytes with 2n chromosome. Now these primary spermatocytes will develop into the next stage of development, that is secondary spermatocyte. Now this phase includes the meiosis. The first thing happens in this phase is the primary spermatocytes undergoes chromosomal duplication. The number remains the same. They are 64 and here they are also 64. But the chromosome number duplicates. From 2n to it becomes 4n. Now the first reduction division occurs. They from 64 they divide into 128. Still they are called the primary spermatocyte. 4n reduces to 2n because it was the meiotic division, the first reduction division. Now the second reduction division occurs, and from 128 to 256 secondary spermatocyte forms. Now the number reduces from 2n to n. So now we have 256 secondary spermatocytes with n number of chromosomes. Now the phase 4, the formation of spermatids. Now the last phase undergoes the mitotic division. Each secondary spermatocyte undergoes one mitotic division, and from 256 they form 512 spermatids, and the chromosome number remains n. So the events occurring from primary spermatocyte to secondary spermatocytes are chromosomal duplication, synapsis, crossing over, and homologous recombination. Now spermiogenesis is the next phase of spermatogenesis. It includes all the morphological changes which occurs while changing a sperm from a rounded spermatid to an elongated spear-shaped sperm. So spermiogenesis includes only the morphological changes. No changes in number or chromosomes occur. The nucleus condenses and changes its shape to form the head of the spermatozoa. The proteins in the nucleus get surrounded by protamine, and the function of this protamine is to protect the chromatid from mutagenic factors. The Golgi apparatus forms a cap-like structure known as acrosome. These acrosome contains many proteolytic enzymes, and these proteolytic enzymes help the sperm in the penetration of the ovum. The centriole, the region occupied the centrioles become the neck of the sperm, and these centrioles are divided into two parts. The proximal part forms the basal body, while the distal part forms the axial filament. The mitochondria surrounds the tail part. It is wrapped in sheath and provide energy for the movement of the sperm. The cytoplasm and other cell organelles, they are shed off as residual bodies, and these are phagocytosed by the Sertoli cells. If you remember, in blood testis barrier, we have studied the function of Sertoli cell. That one of the important function of Sertoli cell is that it phagocytoses the byproducts of the spermatogenesis, so that the antibody formation does not occur for its own sperms. So finally, the sperms are divided into head, neck and tail. So you can see the head region, the neck and the tail region. Head is 4 to 5 micrometer long. It is pear-shaped, surrounded by acrosome, which contains many hydrolytic enzymes which will finally penetrate the zona pellucida of the ovum. It has a nucleus and very thin amount of cytoplasm. The acrosome forms a thick cap-like structure around the nucleus and covers the anterior two-thirds. It is formed mainly by the Golgi apparatus and contains the many digestive enzymes which help in penetrating the ovum. The neck is the narrow constricted part, contains basal body. It is also called the connecting piece because it helps in establishing intimate union between the head and the rest of the spermatozoa. Tail is the motile portion of the sperm, and it makes the sperm capable for fertilizing the ovum. It is also called flagellum and is divided into middle piece, principal piece and end piece. The important components of the tail are axial filament. Now this is responsible for providing the movement to the sperm because it contains microtubules, and sliding of these microtubules over each other leads to the movement of the tail and thus the movement of the sperm. So axial filament forms the central skeleton of the tail. They start from the neck and extends the entire tail. They are made up of 9 pairs of microtubules which are called anterior pair and posterior pair. The sliding of microtubules lead to the movement of the tail and thus helps in the movement of the sperm. The mitochondria is present in the middle piece. It synthesizes ATP and provides energy for the motility. Now the role of epididymis in the sperm maturation. When the sperm enters the epididymis from the seminiferous tubule, it acquires a progressive increase in forward motility and the ability to fertilize the ovum increases. Moreover, the acrosome matures there and the molecular reorganization of plasma membrane occurs, as well as the plasma membrane also stabilizes here. The sperm also acquires the ability to bind to the zona pellucida by acquiring the receptors for proteins of the zona pellucida. The cytoplasm and the cell volume decreases. The role of seminal vesicles and prostate gland. The secretions have a stimulating effect on the sperm motility. Now the female genital tract also plays a very important role. Whenever the sperm is in the male reproductive tract, it has a simple motility, progressive simple motility. But once it reaches the female genital tract, it acquires a whip-like motility, and then it is known as the capacitation. The effect of pH on sperm motility. The acidic pH is harmful for the sperm, whereas the alkaline medium allows good motility. So you can see in the slide that mild acidic medium greatly depresses the motility, while strong acidic medium causes the rapid death of the sperm. Effect of temperature. The activity of the sperm increases with temperature, but life is shortened due to increased rate of metabolism. The life of the sperm in suppressed state is it can live for many weeks, but an ejaculated sperm lives for 1 to 2 days. Thank you.